You caused an accident a couple years ago and you just got served papers for a lawsuit. Now, what do you do? Good morning. It's Jobeth Bowers, your accident and injury guy, coming at you from my Elkton office. Today, we're going to talk about a conversation that I probably have 2 to 3 times every single month. What's that conversation? Well, I get calls from folks who just got sued. They just got sued because a year, 2 years, somewhere close to 3 years sometimes before, they were in an accident that they were at fault for. And they exchanged the insurance information. Maybe the police came out, did the report, facilitated the exchange, and then they went about their business. They got their vehicle repaired through their insurance company because they were at fault. They paid a deductible, and that was it until knock, knock, knock. Hey, you've been served. What do we do? Most of the time, these folks are calling me because they think, and rightfully so, oh man, I'm getting sued. I'm looking at the bottom of this lawsuit and it says that they're looking for over $75,000 or sometimes $1 million or $2 million. And well, have you seen the price of gas and eggs and everything else these days? I don't have $2 million just laying around to play some lawsuit. What do I do? So they call me, like I said, 2 to 3 times, sometimes more. Every single month I get this call. And usually the answer to the question is actually quite simple. The answer to the question is that you already have an attorney. You've already paid for this attorney. And from this point forward, for this accident, it shouldn't cost you another dime out of pocket for pretty much anything. What do I mean by all of this? Well, assuming, and this is the scenario where it might not be this case, and you might be having a different conversation. You might be needing a different attorney to help you out of the situation. But assuming you had a valid insurance for auto policy, a valid auto insurance policy in effect at the time of the accident. So not now, not at the time that you've been served this lawsuit, but rewind. Whether that accident was a year, 2 years, almost 3 years ago, whatever it might be, the insurance company and the insurance policy and all of the coverages that you had in place when the accident happened, that's what's going to come into play. Now, in that scenario, as I walked you through it, we had talked about way back when the accident happened, you called your insurance company, you gave them a statement, they paid to repair your vehicle minus the deductible. You already have a claim number. You might have to dig a little bit because that you haven't dealt with this, but it's probably in an email or in an old file somewhere. That's the exact same claim number. Fast forward several years. Now, what do I mean when I say you've already paid for an attorney? You already have an attorney. Well, part of the deal, the contract that you sign when you buy auto insurance, is that in the instance that you cause an accident, the insurance company is going to evaluate and assess and pay that claim based on, as we've talked about many, many times on past episodes of the podcast, a lot of that's going to be based on what coverage you have on the policy, meaning that there's a limit. If you have a minimum limit policy, they're only going to pay 30 grand. If you cost more injuries than that, there may be a situation where you're in hot water. But if you have a larger policy, you're going to be better covered up to a larger number. But it also includes defending you if a lawsuit is filed against you, related specifically to the auto accident, of course, because it's your auto insurance policy. So if you go do something and cause some damage that has nothing to do with you being in a vehicle, and you get sued for that, your auto policy, of course, is not going to apply. But for an auto accident that you caused or somebody alleges that you caused, because sometimes liability and fault is not clear. So you may get sued and you might think, I'm not at fault for this. Why am I being sued? The attorney that the insurance company will hire on your behalf, or if it's a larger insurance company, the insurance company may already employ that attorney within a law firm that they operate and they own and defends all of their cases. So you're going to have an attorney who's already lined up or shortly will be. Now, as we've talked about in the past, sometimes these lawsuits get filed and some of the smaller insurance companies then scramble. Oh, no. We don't want to pay extra money to hire the attorney to defend this. Now and only now are we going to talk serious about resolving this claim. We deal with that with a handful of insurance companies every year. But the insurance company is going to pay the cost to assign you, to hire you an attorney. That attorney on paper represents you, but reality, they're representing the insurance company's financial interests and trying to minimize what they're paying out on the claim. But at the end of the day, on paper and in some semblance of reality, there are areas in which there may be kind of a, hey, are our interests aligned? Are they not? But for the most part, they are. And this is proven over generations to be an acceptable practice. And it's the contract that you signed. It's the bargain of, hey, I'm going to pay you this premium. And if I do need you, you're going to pay the claim or you're going to defend the claim and then eventually pay the claim if it ends up being something that there's a verdict or a settlement or otherwise. You will not pay out of pocket. Not for the attorney, not for the litigation process, not for the experts that get hired to be part of that defense. The insurance company pays for all of that. The only way that you're paying anything out of pocket, I mean, obviously, if you have to go to a deposition or to a trial, any of your time off of work and transit costs and things like that are on you. Parking and things like that. But as far as the claim directly is concerned, you're not paying anything out of pocket. Even if the insurance company resolves the case for the limit of your policy, all the money that's available, you're not chipping in a dime other than what you've paid in your premiums. It is the business model that these insurance companies maintain. Collect the premiums, hang on to them, pay out as little as you possibly can. And then, of course, they'll defend these cases. And sometimes they'll spend more money defending a case than what they ultimately have to pay out as a verdict. Makes no sense to me, but that's part of the model and what they do. So really simple concept, not too much to it, but I wanted to bring it up because I still get these calls. I will continue to get these calls all the time because for the most part, folks don't know what to do when they get sued for an accident, especially when it happened so long ago. But so to recap, find the claim number, the claim rep might be different because they change all the time. But calling the toll-free number or whatever direct number for the claims at that insurance company and saying, hey, I got served with these lawsuits, reference the claim number from years ago with the accident. They will line you up with counsel and then cooperate with that counsel. The last thing that you want is an insurance company to deny paying a claim because you weren't cooperative. So that's all I have for this week. Super simple concept. Just want to make sure folks can protect themselves. Maybe you find this before spending extra time calling me to discuss it, but just call your insurance company, the one from when the accident happened. So if you've changed insurance companies since, it's not today's insurance company, it's on the day of the accident. So as always, if you have other questions, if you need help with something you wanted on the podcast, send me an email, info@bowerslawmd.com. We got some stuff coming up. I've been working with some insurance agents who we're going to get on to the podcast in future episodes, talk about some insurance specific topics. Also, something that I've been waiting to do for years. My referral partner and a colleague that I work with in Delaware, since we're so close to Delaware, is going to be coming on, and we're going to do a series of podcast episodes where we talk about what happens when a Maryland driver gets in a Delaware accident, or when a Delaware driver gets in a Maryland accident. And we'll go through some of the differences between these states, because we've talked about it on the past episodes, how difficult and different it can be from state to state, and having that kind of a team. We work together regularly and make this seamless for our clients, his and mine, and the like. So look forward to that. Some exciting stuff and some fresh new topics coming up over the next couple of months here. As always, if you're looking for those past episodes, go to the website, bowerslawmd.com. Up top where it says podcast, click on that. You'll be able to find all the old episodes. So that's all I got for everybody this week. Stay safe, be well out there. And of course, if you get sued, call your insurance company, reference the claim number from when the accident happened, and they'll take it from there. All right.